Well, it's a little bit of a unique situation in that it is week 5 of the LCS, the second day. But instead of doing this interview with Kold through the normal post game process, I figured it would be cool to do something from the Alienware training facility, especially because this interview is sponsored by Alienware. So, Kold, hello, or should I say trashy? Because I remember interviewing you. People don't even know in the LCS your background, I don't think.
Probably not. Whatever fits your boat, go with
Yes.
it.
Or Jonas. I don't know. But it's
Yeah.
okay, so Kold, for those that don't know and haven't seen the interviews I used to do with you back in the day, what is your background? Because I think a lot of people obviously knew Jet, they don't know you.
Oh, my background. How many minutes do we have?
We have infinite minutes because it's not a Riot post game interview. I'm not limited by 10 minutes.
Yeah. So back, I guess let's keep it at like a rapid pace. So back in 2015, I moved to America. Back then, my tag was Trashy. I played in the NA Challenger Series under the organization Enemy, and we qualified for LCS 2015 summer. Went in, went out again quickly, and then I got an offer to go back to Europe to play in 2016 Splice, and then I had 4 years there as a player. Um, Went to Worlds one time, uh, went to finals twice, had a very up and down career, and then I had to leave the game for take a year off due to health issues. And then this year I came back to, I wanted to get into coaching, and I spoke with, so first of all, I helped Teal last year at Worlds as a remote positional coach for Broxa. And I guess I did a good enough job to get an offer to come over here and help the team in this season. So I guess that's the TLDR. I joined as a strategic coach for 2021, and I really do enjoy my current position as a coach in within the game. I think I have a lot of things to offer. So yeah, TLDR, there it is.
So are you sorry, is the idea right now that you are the interim head coach or are you like coach?
I'm the interim. So at first it's a funny story. I was like, what the hell does that mean? I don't even know. I don't even know the word. But it's a nice one. I can use it whenever I int the draft very rapidly.
The interim coach
Yes,
is
that's why.
inting. That's a good
Yeah,
point. Yes.
yeah. That's at least the only thing within that name that makes sense to me. So
Yes.
yes, that is my role at the moment. Yeah.
Okay. So how challenging of a situation do you find yourself in? Because I know obviously there's the big press conference, we asked a bunch of questions there, but it does feel as though the relationship between the players and the coaching staff, or at least obviously with Jet, was not that great by the end of it. So
Mm.
I don't know if you're in a situation where you feel like you are personally having to rebuild this trust between the players and the coaching staff, or you always had this good situation. Like I don't know what the dynamic is right now.
Yeah. I will say, I mean, going into it, you ask if it's a challenging part. Absolutely. I think in some aspects, I don't completely know what to do. It's kind of going with my feel and trusting my gut. I initially joined not as a head coach, and I wanted to get into coaching and learn about it. And the reason for it was because I didn't want to take like a head coach role from the get-go because I think there's a certain respect that I have towards being a head coach, and you need to have a certain amount of experience working, managing more than just one guy. Like you're managing a whole team. There's a lot of like human skills that has to be in place for you to be able to manage that well. So yeah, it's a challenge, 100%. And when I heard Jed was resigning, I my first instinct as a competitor is always uh, step up to the team and just do what is best for the team. And in this moment, that was kind of what was needed. Someone had to take on the leadership shoes. Um, so yeah, I'm just kind of going day by day and week by week. I don't always have the answer, but I'll make sure I'll trust my instincts about what should happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. In terms of, I guess in terms of like the trust, I don't ever felt like I think putting coaching stuff in one is one thing. Like I never really felt like I had any issues with the players regarding trust. At least they haven't told me. So um, and if they do, I hope at least they tell me. I told them a lot of times. I have told them several times that we need to be willing to share if things are not going the way they should be. So uh, in that way, I don't see any issues, at least at the moment. Yeah.
Yes. Well, hopefully things continue to be okay. What you mentioned a little bit about how like you had not planned to end up in this head coach role. You wanted to sort of develop, and there are some things that you still are learning yourself. What are you doing to try to like develop yourself more as a coach? You know, like I don't know if it's like you're reading books, you're talking to people. Like what are you doing, especially knowing that you also have to balance everything that's going on with the team and
Yeah.
scrims and all that stuff to make sure that you can kind of learn on the job and grow as a professional.
I think so. I I think naturally I have a lot of human skills, so I'm not really concerned about me being able to do the job. It's more about the experience part where I think what a lot of times what defines a really good head coach is through experience, and I just don't have that. So um, it's kind of like it's kind of hard to say like where you learning because right now I don't think I'm in a position where uh, I will be having like immediate learning. It's more about maybe in a couple of months I will draw a lot of learning from what is happening right now, and I think that's pretty normal. Um, I would love to have more time to read, but I will be honest. I don't have a lot of free time at the moment because it has been some busy weeks. Yeah.
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 Well, I know that Steve had mentioned in the press conference about sort of how there'd be like a conversation between Alfari and the other, and I think him, and sort of like a group conversation about a potential Alfari return or when it made sense for him to come back. I don't know. Are you part of that at all? Because right now there's a lot of fans that are clamoring for his return, obviously, and so I'm kind of curious, you know, if you're part of that. If we don't see him on stage, is it because Kold doesn't think he's ready?
Yeah. I mean, well, so obviously I mean, Barney hates the coaching staff and I hate him. So
Okay,
we will never see him again.
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
He did an interview with the manager this past week, so
No, it's interesting because uh, I have so many thoughts about this whole thing that has happened, but I don't wanna put words like I don't wanna put words into too many words into the situation that will be taken wrongly. Um, I've seen how much this whole situation has affected people around me, and as someone that has a lot of empathy with people around that I'm very close with, it has been tough. I'm not gonna lie on that, but I've talked very clearly with Barney what I expect from him, and so regarding the decision for him to play, he he was given time off because he really needed time off, and he will play when he's ready to play, and I think that is what matters to me. This whole process for me, it has been all about making sure that the team is feeling good, and despite all the shit that has happened, like I've been very, very impressed and proud of the guys for just keeping the mood up. And so it, being around it hasn't actually felt like there has been a lot of stuff happening, because the guys actually just enjoy being around each other. And we have uh, I like to call especially Eddie and Jensen. They're the two. They're probably the biggest comedians I've ever seen, at least lately. So
Tactical, you're saying, yes, right?
yeah, yeah, tactical. He is number one, that's for sure. So I have a bunch of comedian I have to manage, and that's interesting.
Yeah. Well, with the team, with Team Liquid, you guys are in an interesting state where you're still kind of up near the top of the standings, because obviously you had a great spring performance, and it's not like you guys are dropping every game right now. But I think a lot of TL fans might be kind of worried, right? Because you have like a surging 100 Thieves, like TSM and Cloud9 seem to be contesting for good position. Even some of these other teams like Mortals and others are showing that they can take games off of some of the good teams too. So, I mean, what are your expectations and hopes for, first, the next 4 weeks, because there's 4 weeks left of the regular season, but then beyond that, playoffs as well? Because you guys it's a tough situation, right? A lot of tough competition right now in the LCS.
Yeah, I can 100% understand why Team Liquid fans would feel worried about how we are performing against the opposition that we are looking to beat, because it's pretty clear. It has been clear to us the whole time we want to win, and we will do whatever it takes for us to, at the end of summer, lift the trophy. I don't think the expectation has changed regarding everything that has happened. Our goal is still the same. I did expect us to have some bumps in performance in these weeks regarding all of the stuff that has happened with new players coming in. Every time you add a new player to a roster, it changes some dynamics, and that is something we're working on. I will say I'm not worried at all. I'm very, very confident in the guys when playoffs comes around, or at least I would say within the last 1 to 2 weeks before playoffs, we will be much sharper as a team. But if you base it around, if you look at the way we perform right now, then I can definitely see why you would be worried as a TL fan. But if I who am with the team on a daily basis, I'm not worried at all, then I don't think the fans should be.
Gotcha. Okay, so you're confident. I mean, I assume it might be tough for you guys to like try to get into first place by the end of the season, right? I mean, I don't have the standings in front of me, but I know we're running out of games. I mean, there's 3 a week, but you have to kind of expect some things to go weird. Yep. So I don't know. Are you feeling really good about playoffs then? Is that where you feel like it's going to take off for you?
Yeah, I mean, we have right now we have a 7-man roster. And
well, you're only playing 5 of them.
We are, but we have seven men that will, by when playoffs comes around, we will be fielding the 5 guys that we believe will give us the highest chance of winning.
Gotcha.
And all the guys know that. So that's why I'm not like actually concerned about it, because I know this. I know when that comes around, we will be playing at a much better level than we are right now. We are testing a lot of things. We are experimenting with a lot of things, and when you add players, some of the structures we had before we have to introduce again, and then there's just a lot of things that are happening in these weeks that we're doing to prepare ourselves for when playoffs comes. So if we shit the bed when playoffs comes around, then people should be worried. Yes. But I don't think right now is the time to be.
I mean, I think they probably will, right? If that ends up happening, and
that's completely fair. That's how it should be.
Well, it's an interesting situation. I guess my worry, and you should tell me if this shouldn't be a worry, is Okay, what if it takes several more weeks for Santorin and Alfari to feel like they're in a place where they can return?
Mm.
And then you guys are heading into playoffs with very minimal time. As you said, anytime you're bringing a player into the roster, if you guys have played with Jenkins and Armeo for the vast majority of the LCS
Mm.
summer, you're going to be in a really tough position, I assume, whenever playoffs comes on like, all right, do we now revert back to these guys even though they haven't been playing with us for a while? Or so I don't know if you're concerned about that being a situation or if you think like swapping them back in would be an easy move.
I will say it's much easier to reintroduce a player that has been part of the process from the start.
Sure.
So, as I said before, I'm not worried at all. And maybe I should be, but you're not really doing a good job at making me more worried about it,
Okay.
Travis. So
I'm not trying to. I'm just like these are what I expect people's concerns would be. The Team
Yeah.
Liquid subreddit, which I read every week, and I just saw today they were like, "Hey, we're ready for Jenkins has been doing great, but we're ready for Alfari to come back now, please." I just know that these are the types of concerns that are going to be popping up over there, especially as we're in the final stretch of the split. So, but I'm sure a lot of fans over there will also take solace in the confidence that you feel going into playoffs. So, other than that, I really appreciate you taking the time to sit down and talk with me. What I guess maybe we can leave it with this. Based off of these first two games of this week, and obviously the games you played last week as well with Armeo, where do you think the team needs to shore up its issues? What are the problems plaguing the team in your eyes right now?
So initial thoughts. I don't know when you're gonna
Monday
launch
is probably when this
the.
would come out.
Okay, so as we speak, we just lost to C9, and I think so. We have had two drafts where I think that I failed the guys in terms of having agency in the game. So that's on me. And apart from that, there are certain systems that we are using that is like when you change the jungle position, you need to reintroduce. Like it's kind of like when and this is something that happens very often in League where one of your teammates expects the other guy to do something, but then because he just doesn't realize it in the moment, then they don't do it, and then yeah. So there's just processes there that we have to go through with John. So yes, we need to be a little bit more on the same page in the game. There are too often where we get lost, and that is something we're working on. I think we're trying to be more proactive in the early game, and it's showing in practice, but it hasn't really shown on stage. So that's a work in progress with John. So there's a lot of stuff that we're working on, and we are very, very far from being perfect, but we're striving for it. So yeah, it's just week by week right now, and one of the reasons why I have a lot of faith that we'll be ready for playoffs is because I see the energy and I see the camaraderie we have within the team, and for me. Right now, that's the most important thing going forward, because if that breaks, then the team breaks. But our team is actually all of this made us more come together as a team. And I think that's so much more important than actually playing at a very high level right now. So that's why I'm not worried at all.
Yeah. Very good. Well, hey, thank you so much, Kold, for the interview. Anything you want to say to any of the Team Liquid fans out there?
Anything to well. So first up, we must have the best subreddit out there.
The TL and TSM both have pretty good subreddits. I mean, C9's up there, but they can be a little vicious.
Yeah, I should probably spend a little bit more time there, but I tend to stay away from socials as much as possible, because I feel like I know myself very well, and I take I take the good things in, but I also take the bad things in. So it's just better for me to have an objective view from staying away from it too much. But yeah, to the Teal fans, we will be ready for playoffs, and I think you guys should be excited for that.
Very good. Well, thank you so much, Kold, for the interview. Really great to talk to you now in your new role. Congratulations on becoming the Interim coach, Interim head coach. Yes.
There we go. I like it.
Thank you so much. Thanks so much, Kold. And for everyone else, you can check out the rest of my coverage of all things LCS right here on my YouTube channel. Oh my gosh, isn't it crazy that we're already in November? No, I know right now what you're thinking is, wow, Travis used a really old outro for this one. I'm just making a bit of a joke, because guess what? Alienware right now has their Black Friday in July deals going on over at alienware.com/Travis. Click through there, head on over to the Alienware site. If you click that link, it's helpful to me. And then take a look, because they've got limited time deals. You can like refresh and keep an eye out for maybe you're in the market for a notebook or something. But the holidays are upon us in July. And of course, I'm talking about Black Friday in July, which is Alienware's thing. Anyway, thanks so much to Alienware for sponsoring this video, and thank you for watching it.